All of these stories are taken from the website regretted.com. This all started about a year ago. I was looking for a gun, because I was going to kill somebody, and I didn't want to trace, wanted to trace back to nobody. So I was like, where can I go and get a gun that's untraceable? That's how I ended up on the deep webs. And so I was looking through all the advertisements, and this one said, hire me, I'll kill the person for you. And he's already got guns and stuff. So I was like, okay, I can do that, And then all of a sudden, my house got robbed. And somebody was on top of me with a gun, and they said, oh, you the one wanting so-and-so dead. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they said, we're the police. We're going to take everything we want from your house, and you're not going to say a word, or else we're going to throw you in prison for trying to get that person killed. And I was like, what's going on? Are you serious? And they was like, we're serious. Don't you dare go to the cops. We are the cops. And I was like, that's not very nice, I was just trying to, murder somebody. I know it was wrong now, but at the time I felt like, let me murder this person and see if this really works, But I just want to say to anybody out there listening to this, don't do it. Don't murder nobody from the deep webs, because it's usually a cop on the other end, and they'll just turn it back on you, and they say only idiots do it. So I really felt like an idiot for doing it, But I would just like to warn everybody out there, and I just wanted to say, do not go on the deep web for your murder plots, don't do it. Just murder them without telling anybody, And also, Mr. Deep Web Detective, who held me down and sodomized me for a little while I was crying, let's never meet again on the deep webs. I remember a couple years ago, I was on the deep web just surfing, I thought it was all just fun and games. But then there was this link that popped up, and it said, are you into extreme, domination, I think it said. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm into extreme domination, that's what I like, I guess. I like being dominated extremely, Anyways, I clicked on the link, and it was just some snuff video where some dude is murdering a chick or whatever. It was horrible. So I typed in the box because it was live right there. It was really happening. I was like, is this real? And it was like, yes, this is real. They typed in, they said, yes, this is real, you little pussy. And they called me a pussy, and I was like, don't call me a pussy, you jerk, And they was like, won't you shut up and make me not call you a pussy, you little pussy? And I was like, that's just mean, You gonna go kill people and be mean, You can do one or the other. You can be evil and kill people, but then be nice, Or you can be a complete jerk and be mean to everybody and not kill people, but being both of them, nobody wants that, Just go kill yourself, Nobody wants a mean murderer walking around, At least be nice. Anyways, I type in the box, I says, you leave her alone, you bunch of cowards. And then the person that was murdering him stopped sawing off her head for a second, and he turned towards the camera and he pointed at it and he says, Michael, and that's me, my name's Michael. He says, Michael, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna do this to you. And I was like, what? No, you're not. I will call the police right now. I do not appreciate the threats. And he says, shut up, you little pussy. And I was like, why you gotta keep calling me a pussy? You're so mean. Anyways, I moved out of the house the next week because I've heard these stories on the deep web. How, people get threatened and then a week later they're murdered, or their whole family's murdered or something like that. So I was like, I ain't no fool. I move out of that house, Well, wouldn't you know it, 2 weeks later, someone else had moved in and the whole family got murdered. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's really real, and I feel really bad for that new family. But, I was just playing around, I didn't know it was real. I thought it was just fake, but it's not fake. These things really happen all the time. So if I had the chance, I would never go on the deep webs again. And I'd just like to apologize to everybody involved, except for the person who kept calling me a pussy and who was a murderer. You, sir, I do not want to meet you again, okay? I do not never want to talk to you. I don't want to have nothing to do with you, okay? And if you hear this, guess what? You're the pussy, not me. I'm really brave and I'm strong and people like me and they say that I'm very nice. But you're a pussy and you're a murderer and you're mean, worst of all. So let's never meet again. Let me start off by saying, growing up, I never really had a lot of friends. I never even had a best friend. And I remember I was always jealous of the kids who had best friends. And I was especially jealous of the kids who had brothers that was like their best friend or sisters that was like their best friend. So I don't know how it goes with best friends. I kind of just keep to myself. Well, that all changed. A couple years ago, I was on the deep web and I was just about to go to college, So I thought, hey, I'll look for an apartment on the deep web, But that was a bad idea. I should have never even done it. I'm such a stupid idiot. I don't even know why I did it. I mean, my brain must have been full with bullets, Or I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, so I go on the deep web and I see a listing from a 25-year-old man who says, I need a roommate and possibly a best friend. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need. Because, I was needing an apartment for college and whatnot. I had to live on my own. Anyways, this guy, he invites me over and he says, we're going to be best friends, you and me. So I was like, oh, I hope this is fun, I always wanted a best friend, Anyways, I'll go over to his house. And first thing he does, he says, well, you're going to have to take the best friend room. So then he locks me in a cage, And I was like thinking to myself, is this the kind of stuff that best friends do? I don't know. Anyways, for like a week or two, I don't even remember because he kept me in the cage locked up the whole time. Boy, it was a really long time. Anyways, for that whole time, he made me his sex slave, And I'm not into guys or nothing, but I just thought that's what best friends do, I was like, okay, I guess, he wants to get gay and stuff, so I don't want to lose my best friend, so I'll just, I'll do it with him, Well, long story short, about a month into it, like I said, I don't remember. I was locked in the cage the whole time, but it was a really long time. One day he left for work and he accidentally left the cage unlocked. So I'll run out of the room and I'll run out into the street and I'm screaming and yelling, and someone comes and says, what's going on? And I says, this man right here in this house locked me up and he was keeping me as a sex slave, and I never had a best friend, but I'm pretty sure that's not what best friends do, Like have butt sex, and lock their best friend up in the cages. I don't think. And then the neighbor who came out said, sir, you are right. That's not no best friend at all. That sounds like a best enemy. So anyways, I would just like to say to that gentleman who locked me up in his house for like a month and like was abusing me and kept me as a sex slave, I would just like to say, you a liar. That is not what best friends do. Best friends do not have sex with each other, especially if they're a man. So I just wanted to say that I would never want to meet you again, because I finally did find a best friend, and like, he just barely wants to have sex every 2 weeks or so, and he lets me roam free. He doesn't keep me locked in a cage or nothing. So for my best friend, who was like really mean, let's never meet again on the deep web. Hello, Governor. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, smash that like button. If you didn't, go yourself. Seriously, if you didn't leave a like on the video and you watched the whole thing, you're a hole, and everybody will know it.